Hello there, this is Sandy and I'm back at the Babylock Solaris, having fun on my journey to learn as much as I can about this machine. I got it about 1.25 years ago, and ever since then I've created a channel and made pretty many videos on things I've learned so far. I've done a lot of machine embroidery, and I am actually going down the path of IQ designer, but I wanted to do this sweatshirt and one other before I continued. And I also have some placemats that I wanted to work on before I go back to IQ designer. So here's the design. I've got notes all over the sheet I printed out. Of course, I didn't use any of the colors that my machine came up with this time, and so I did the best that I could to pick out the 16 colors that I needed. There are 22 color changes using those 16 colors. So I'm just going to start stitching because I can share with you what I've learned along the way doing this design. And this one is from Urban Threads, as you can see right there. And here we go. I got a lot of it stitched out. I know I don't ever do a whole design because I don't think there's enough people out there that could sit for 2 hours to watch this design stitch out like this one is. So I just do the bulk of the machine embroidering, then I try to come back and share with whoever wants to learn what I learned and some of the designs that I use, how pretty they are. This is another one where you have to trust the process, because as it stitches out, I'm like, I don't know. And then once again, I find myself saying, just trust the process because it will turn out beautiful, and it usually does. So I am ready to start my next color, and we'll see how this goes. Let me make sure I've got the right one in here. 624, 624, okay. I'm going to have to clip that thread because I left it pretty long. And I don't know if anybody out there has done this design before, but I'll talk about that after I get this going. So this is a 10 5/8 by 10 5/8 hoop, and I hooped it like normal. I used, for this sweatshirt, I used one layer of medium weight cutaway on the bottom and one layer of this water soluble on top, and hooped it in a regular Babylock hoop. And I tried, because of the size of the design and the size of the sweatshirt, I tried using safety pins to hold the sweatshirt back, and that wasn't working. So because of the size of the hoop, I really had to stretch the sweatshirt, and I didn't like that. So I opened up the side seam, and that made it a lot easier this time. So that's all I have on how I stitched it out. This design has, like I said, 22 color changes, and there's almost 67,000 stitches, and it stitches out to be about 6.85 by 10.42 inches. So it's pretty big, and there's a lot of stitches, and there's a lot of layering of the stitches. And so I noticed while doing this one, even though I've reinforced or stabilized sweatshirts like this many times with Urban Decay and Embroidery Library, and they always turn out beautiful, I did get some rippling, but I think that's the kind that will press out when I'm done and take it out of the hoop. I was thinking about putting one layer of tearaway lightweight on the back, but I thought sometimes when I do that, it does this rippling effect. So I wanted to just trust what I think I ended up calling Urban Threads or Embroidery Library. I know they're related, and asked them and told them what I was using many months ago. And They just said just use medium weight cutaway. So I've been doing that for most of my sweatshirts with my topper, with the water soluble, and it's been turning out okay. So that's what I wanted to share with you about the hoop. Make sure I don't go over everything. Plus my dog's knocking at the door. At the end, if you stick around, I'll try to remember to show you how to update the colors, because I did not use I couldn't use any of the colors that this time that the design, I guess my machine interpreted the Madeira colors that they used in the design, and I didn't like the way that looked in my machine. So I tried using a color customizer or color visualizer or something like that in the machine a couple times, and I just really didn't like the combos that it came up with. So then I just used this sheet and I tried to match up the colors that I have. And so far so good. I have had to, since I opened the sides and I did pin back in some areas, with this area here flopping over, I just tried using tape to hold it back, and then I used a safety pin to hold that back, and it seems to be working. So that's that one. We're ready to go on to the next color. Excuse my reach. Okay, we're ready to go on. I'm gonna go get my pen. So this is the fun part that you get to see. When I was stitching out these trees, just that part was 29 minutes. And so that's why I never share. I also had, when it was doing this center part, I had one needle break because my thread got wrapped around the bottom of the spool up top. And then next time it broke, it was because of the density, I think, of the stitches that it was trying to get through. I usually don't have a problem though, so I don't know whether it's, you know, I know that humidity can do things, but it's not humid in here. It's pretty dry. So I'm not sure why I had two. Well, I know why I had the first needle break. The second one was kind of strange. Plus, it was not. That was not the only thing. Before those two needle breaks, that thread spool the thread kept breaking, and so I'm thinking it might have a little bit to do with the thread, but it's probably a combination of things. So this is, as you can see, it gets a little ripply because this is like the fourth layer of threads that it's stitching through, and it's going to be really pretty when it presses out. I've seen this happen before. And I think we're okay. But the rest of these thread color changes are pretty quick. There's 1, 2, 3 more that have to do with shading. Yeah, and then the rest are like 1 minute thread changes for the snow on the trees, I believe. Or it could be, there's snowflakes too. Could be just that. We will see. I haven't gone past these thread colors to see where those last. Let's see here. There's like, I don't know, 5 colors that are like 1 minute stitch outs. It says it's snow. Now this is going to be pretty because it's like a fuchsia pink. It's called Aurora Borealis Forest. And again, it was from Urban Threads online. I was going to mention that if you get this one and you try it yourself, beware at, you know, the top of your hoop, because this goes way up and this goes way down. I've never really stitched a pattern that was so close to the side of the hoop, so, you know, maybe I should have picked a little bigger hoop, but I didn't want to keep going bigger because I knew it was going to be hard to hoop the sweatshirt. So this was the best size I could find based on what I had. I think if I had an 8 by 12, that would have been perfect. And this is 10 by 10. So I could have hooped it the 12 this way and then 8 this way, and it would have at least had more ease around the top, I'm thinking. So it says it's 101 minutes because when I got to these stitches that just keep layering on top of each other, you see how it's rippling from all of that dense stitching. But I know when I press it out and trim up the back, it's going to be fine. It will relax. But when it was breaking the thread often, I actually lowered it from like 800 to 700 stitches per minute. And it seemed to be happy that I did that because the thread, knock wood, hasn't broken since. Excuse me. It's really pretty. This is more shading. More shading on top of all those thread colors. So I'm going to get my little purple thing ready to just kind of stand by. This rippling is really kind of scary at this point. Maybe I should have used a heavy duty. I don't know. It's not hitting the ripples. I think it's going to be okay. It's a 4-minute stitch out. And gosh, guess what? The next red color change is doing shading right up where that middle of that pink is that it's working now. So it's going to have like 5 or 6 layers of red. And it's going over the ripples okay. Let me know if anybody has done this one out there. You just got to keep going, and when you get this far, you know, there's no turning back. So I think at the end, like I said, which is, it only shows that it's 10 minutes away, but I think it's less than that because there's this thread color, then the next one is 4 minutes. That's just like the pink streak up this pink that's just sewn now. And then this, it says it's snow. It could be the snow on the trees. We'll see. But it's all different kinds of coloring because I think, you know, the Aurora Borealis can reflect off of the snow. So we'll see what it does. A little bit on this tree. Hopefully you can see okay before I actually move the camera. Yeah, this is like the left side of the trees. Oh yeah, it's like a, it kind of looks like it's reflecting off of this part. I'm gonna let my dog in, and she's laying on the floor. And I see Rizzy. She needs a haircut. Hey, Riz. Hey, Rizzy girl. You a good girl? Yes, you are. That's Rizzy. And a little bit on the inside of these trees. Both trees. Let's see. I think I've shared everything. Yeah, I was gonna say that in thread color change 10, when it goes up to the top, you really gotta watch this part that you hold it. In the beginning, it starts off real low. So the first one and the 10th one, and then this purple one, yeah, that's number 11. I don't usually like to babysit. I did have my phone app out. Let me see if I can show you. This is the IQ monitoring app, showing me like where it's at, and it will tell me if it's set. It will send a message on my phone, if you can see, waiting for a thread color change. So if I wanted to walk away, I could, but I've had to kind of watch this sweatshirt more than some of the others I've done. So hold on one second. I'm going to make sure I get the right color. Yes, I need to switch it out. I ran out of room on my spool rack, of course, with all the thread color changes, because it only holds 10. Do you guys have, if you're watching this, do you have a thread spool rack? Does it have 10? I'm going to slow this down because this big ripple in the middle here, I don't know, it just makes me a little nervous, so. There we go. So while that's stitching out, I can show you this app. It's called Babylock's IQ Monitoring. And it, see how that in the upper, your upper right hand, there's a little needle going up and down. That means it's sewing. And then at the bottom, it's got all the thread color changes, and you can actually change it if you press that to see. It should change. Oh, this is the time. So this is the time, and when you press this, it shows what thread color. What, that doesn't seem right. This time it doesn't seem right because we're on number 16. Here's the thread color list. So the designs that I picked out are here. We're on this one, I believe. 1081. Yeah. So all of these other ones are 1 minute. And so that's helpful. But I'll go back to monitoring. So it's showing me that it's working. See that cross? I'll use this. It's working here, and then it will move slowly to show where it's working. When it breaks a thread, it will send me a message on my phone like I shared. So that's nice. If it's a broken needle, usually you get waiting for thread change or broken thread. I think that's the message it sends. So it's really handy. Some parts of this I was able to use the app, but like when, you know, I've got concerns about stitch out here, I think I'm going to speed this up now. Then I'm just here standing watching over it. The next one is 362. That's that one. I'm going to get the next colors ready. 24. That one. Yep. So it's doing the beautiful, I guess this is considered, no, it's not the snow. It's called Lights, Center Shading, and Tree So it's already done the light center shading, and it's doing the tree highlights. And the rest will be doing snow. So at the end, after I take it out of the hoop and take the water soluble off, I will do that, and then I will show you how I went in there. This is the colors, but then I had to go through my stash, and as you can see up there, that's part of them. And I have some down here that I've used, and I've actually put some away. So after I figured out the colors that I was using, then I thought it would really be good to go in there and change what it thought it should use to what I picked out. And so I can show you that. I can also show you the color visualizer area. So Aurora Borealis forest, almost 67,000 stitches, 22 thread color changes. I used medium weight cutaway on the back with water soluble on top in a 10 by 5/8 by 10 by 5/8 hoop. And let's see what else I can summarize. And I just said when the thread starts breaking, I always look at the thread spool on top to see if if it's a new spool. Sometimes it falls off the spool too fast, and then it gets caught. So I look for that. If that's happening, then I look at the needle, and it's time to change the thread. Okay, we're looking for this blue one, 362. This is just snowflakes. So I'll have to watch up here. Oh, and there's one right there. I can't even see that snowflake here. It's hard to see. I think what I'm going to do is, I got an iron right here. I have a little table now that I have that is as high as my stand-up desk here. Then I'm going to use for this project and upcoming projects to make a bag. And it's nice because I can put the iron with the iron pad on it, my small one, and just iron things real quick. And so maybe I'll roll that over here now and use it to iron out this part. So I'll be right back. Enjoy! I wonder if it got dark in here because I had to turn off one of the lights. I was afraid I would blow a fuse. Okay, next color is 624, which is this pretty, it's like a lavender color. Okay, I'm not going to see a snowflake that color in there very well. But just going to do it. And it just looks like there's 5 of them. Then we go to a color 312. Gotta find it. It's up there. Okay, 312. Oh, that's because it's not. I don't have 312. It's not even a. PK 37 is what I picked because it's like a eucalyptus color, but it looks kind of like a blue turquoise to me. I put this on a black sweatshirt because I thought it would show up the best. Another thread color change. So 312 is really PK 37, so it's like this pretty, it's like a turquoise color to me. Their Madeira color they called eucalyptus. The next one is 291. It's just like a lighter green. I don't know. I see this one. Which one here? Oh, there's a couple over there. They're very faint. You know, maybe I should have used silver next time. So, I don't know. I'll make a note. Okay, ready for this. Getting pretty good at changing the thread fast. There we go. There's only 2 snowflakes on this one. I don't really even see the snowflakes on the machine. It's hard to see it. Now, you see on their picture, I should turn that light back on. Come on. if you see in their picture, they're quite light. So I don't know, it kind of looks like they use silver or something. But in the printout, it's got all these colors to use at the end. There's some super white ones at the very last color change, but I'm thinking they should have all been white or silver. Or you could, if you have a variegated thread, ooh, metallic would have been pretty. I always think of these things when it's too late, because by the time I get done doing this, like it's 100 and, it says it's 113 minutes, but it's been a good 2 hours. And after that amount of time, I'm a little bit slower thinking. Like I would have put a snowflake, you know, somewhere else. Putting them in all the light areas. But it's not my design. And last thread color change is coming up. So each one takes about a little less than a minute to thread it through. Now there's a lot of white snowflakes here, so this one says 2 minutes stitch out. These are more noticeable. I will turn the iron on when this is done, because I don't want to like blow a fuse in the middle of this thing. I haven't yet, but I have like 3, in order to see in my room with no overhead lighting, which I think I'd need this light anyway. I have like 3 ring lights. 2 of them are just like circular lights that just show light. So like this up there, let's see if you can see it. I don't think I'm going to be able to make you see it, but there's there's one. And then there's another one over there, but I won't torture you. It's just it's not a regular, they're not regular ring lights. They're just circular lights that look like ring lights. But they really, really shed a lot of light in here. They're exactly what I needed. Whether I have this channel or not, I would have gotten them. Yeah, definitely these white ones show up better. I get what their designer was trying to do. It's a little bit behind. It says 82 out of 101 minutes. So I don't know what's going on with that part of this monitoring. Yeah, stitch-wise, it's behind too. I noticed too when I did the first thread color. Was it the first, in between the first, or somewhere between the first and the 5th? It showed there was like so many more stitches than it actually stitched, and then it just moved on. It's hard to describe what I saw. It showed for the thread color more stitches that I expected it to stitch, but instead it stopped and it went to the next thread color. So that was kind of strange, and maybe that's what's going on. But interestingly enough, on my screen, it's correct. It's just the app. So I'm going to close the app just to see if I reopen it, if it will refigure things better. So let's see what it does. No embroidery data. Oh, there we go. 114/101. So it probably took me 114 minutes, but at some point it's probably taking me longer because I slowed it down. That's interesting. I didn't know that it did that. Let's see with the thread colors. Now it caught up on the thread color changes. So before it was off down here. And here's where I'm saying 114 minutes. The machine itself says 114 over 114. This shows 114 over 101. So I don't know why there's a disconnect. But it's still a helpful app. And the machine is done. So I can take it out of the hoop. And I just used painter's tape to tape this baby back. Because it was really flopping in, as you can see. It did help. Normally I use, the pins to hold all the sides back, but I was just trying to make it easy with the hooping process, make it a little easier. So I'm taking it out of the hoop and I'll be right back. And then I'll show you the thread color changes too. And I will still have to stitch up the side. That's no problem. I had trouble getting this, sorry, I'm trying to do a bunch of things at once. Getting the, my light went out. I had trouble getting normally I don't have trouble getting the stabilizer affixed to the back. I just spray on the temporary adhesive spray. It's 505 and it usually sticks to the back of the sweatshirt okay, but it wouldn't stick. So I'm wondering maybe that had something to do with my I'm going to spray it with a little water. And get rid of that. Trying to get rid of the, I keep saying, I'm trying to get rid of the water-soluble stabilizer so you can see better what it looks like. And the chalk marks. And I'm using water with a microfiber towel to get rid of the burn from the hoop. There's like burn marks from hooping sometimes that you get, but I've always been able to remove them. Almost done. And now I'm just pressing. Oh my, I gotta get some of this off. Sticky. The water soluble, it's not all stitched densely. Some of this is looser, like you can see the black sweatshirt through it. So I'm trying to spray it enough to get the water soluble out of it so I can iron it and not gunk up the machine, the iron. I keep finding more water soluble. So here we go, almost done. Just one more little press. Gotta throw that one in the wash. It has sparkles on it. Must have used it for something else. So here we go. I still have to get more. There's still water soluble stabilizer on it. But that's the sweatshirt. Turned out very nice. And I just have to cut away the back. And you can see the ripples are gone. The fabric relaxed. So now let me show you over here. If I go out of here, I am going to use my mouse. Here we go. To get this design, I went into embroidery. Let me start over because I went too fast. Embroidery. And then I went into the pocket. And I had got my design from this first USB drive. Oh, no, this wasn't it, was it? No, I had imported it. That's right. And so I went to Wi-Fi, and then this is where I got it from. But it's not that one. It's this one. So this is how it came over, and I set. So this is how it came over, and that's not bad. But I wanted it to look more like the picture because I really liked how the picture looks. As you can see, it's not bad. There's mine. There's that one. So I could have used it, but I decided I would change the colors, and I wanted different colors. So like, just to give you an example, if you go here, before you go into embroidery, you're in the edit screen, and you click this 4 little color square thread spool icon, and then it gives you the color visualizer. You do everything here. So if you wanted to do like random colors, you could do that. Say if you wanted, let's see, maybe you can. So I was able to do some, maybe it was Vivid. Oh, okay, there we go. So here it's giving me, if I wanted something like that, I could put a heart on it. Well, I didn't really care for these, so I canceled that. And then you can do gradient. I think when you get to this screen, when it shows colors, you're locked out, so I can't do that apparently. Soft. So here's some ideas for soft, and if you like this one, you can put a heart on it, and then you can see all your favorites at once. Those two are cool, so let's look at that. And refresh will give you more. Refresh, you get more. So there's all kinds of options. And then there's we were on 3 pages of options for this one. But I decided, I'm not going to do that. This is what the machine came up with. I wanted to get my own colors. So like for the first one, I go in here and I look at all the colors. This is all the colors that the machine picked. And because $3.91, I didn't really like how that looked. So I went in here and I typed the number 306. And it changes it right away. Then you go to the next one. And I wanted 354. Well, this is the one where I wanted 354, but it's not here. If I type in 354, see there's no color there. So I just went with 372. I went to color, and then I found a blue, and I picked the blue, but it turned out to be 372. Oops. Clear. 372. And it changes it here so you can see what it looks like. And then the next one was 362 is what I wanted. So I just typed in 362. As you can see, the colors here, and it's updated in the sheet. 344, I wanted 221. And there we go. So I just went down this whole list and did that. And if you wanted to go through and just pick colors, you could do that too. You could just change, you know, you can change it to see what color you like. And it's making the changes right there. If I go back. So it's on this color. And it's like, as I make these changes, it's doing it right on the screen. So you can do it a couple ways. If you want to like go to your thread rack and pick out the colors you like, you can go and type in the number. And you just start wherever you want to start changing things. And then when you're done, you put it to memory so that you don't lose all those colors that you just picked. So I'll just pretend I like this one. And if I go out of here, I would go back in there to find it, the pocket, and since it saved it to machine memory, it's right here. See, that's the one that I just did. This is the one I've been working on because I saved it so that I could stitch it from the neckline being here. This here, I would have the neckline up here, but I don't have a hoop that works good with that setup. So I did what I could with the what I had. Then I don't really like this, so I'm going to get rid of it and delete. And there, and I have this one. That's my most recent. So I'm going to, if I want to delete more than one, I'll click here and then pick whatever I want. Well, it didn't click there. That one and that one. So, and then I'll pick delete. So when you want to do more than one at once, that's what you do. And because I'm actually done with this design. I'm going to go into here because this is where I import everything. If you import too much, you can get, you know, a message when you're trying to move it over with that design transfer app, data design transfer app by Babylock. That's where you go to your laptop or your tablet and you just transfer the design that you want to the machine and it comes in here. And since I did this one, I can select that one and delete it. I don't want to do that one again. These are the other ones I'll be working on eventually. So that's how it's done. And that's all there is today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give the video a like, make a comment. You know the routine. Thanks for watching.